Hello,
Okay.
dear Gupta.
Hi, sir. Can I start with my presentation?
Yeah, please, if you can share your screen and start your presentation, please. I'm the chairman of the conference.
Done.
Uh, Again, welcome.
Thank you so much. My presentation is visible?
No, yeah, we see it. Now we see it.
Right. Thank you.
You're
So,
welcome.
good afternoon, everyone. As per the Indian timings. So, myself, Dr. Anish Gupta, I'm working as a professor in Department of uh, Computer Science and Engineering in ABS Engineering College, Ghaziabad. So, today we are going to discuss about the use of the machine learning in the healthcare. But before we start with the concept of this use of machine learning in the healthcare, I would like to discuss a brief about what actually the machine learning is. So basically, when we talk in a generalized way, that machine learning, it is always known as a part of an AI. AI is one thing in which the machine used to learn through our instructions and our logics, what we used to give to the machine. And you can say the machine learning is basically the concept in which the machine learns automatically on the past experience and the data, training data, what we shared with them. So basically, you can say that through this, with the help of the machine learning, in our use of machine learning, we are developing a system in which you can say, or through which we are developing an intelligent system which is not only going to help the humankind but also going to give you the best and the expert result with the higher level of the accuracy. So when we talk about the machine learning in today's scenario in 2021, in fact you can say, so the currently the machine learning is majorly used in three fields. So the number one is medicine, number two is email filtering, and the third one is computer vision. I hope I am audible. Hello.
Yeah, this is visible. Yeah.
Right. Okay, done.
We are
So
listening.
this is okay, done. So we basically using machine learning in these three particular domain in a major way. So when we says that what is the role of the machine learning in the healthcare? So before going how the machine learning algorithms and what all algorithms we are using in a healthcare system, we will first I will like to share that what is the development which took place in the machine learning. So machine learning, you can say the adaptability in the field of the healthcare, it started in 2016. So you can say from 4 September 2016, it has been started using widely in the system of the healthcare. And when we go for the Google trend, we will find it out that there is a tremendous growth in the adaptability of the machine learning algorithms in terms of the healthcare. Now, when we says that what all are the domains and what all are the fields, how this machine learning is used in the healthcare. So the basically they are using to identify the major diseases, and you can say just like a cancer in terms of diabetes. So these are the few major diseases which are destroying or killing human beings. So when they are performing a various tests related to these diseases, so they are basically you can say X-rays, CT scan, and screening and all related tests to this deadly diseases you can say. So in these particular diseases, we are using a machine learning algorithms. So Deloitte, everybody knows. So Deloitte took a survey in almost 1100 US companies that were using artificial learning and the machine learning algorithms for in the healthcare system. So when they took out the study or carried out the study, they found that 63%, which is really a huge percentage, are the companies which are using machine learning techniques in their industry. So now the question arises that when we say is ki machine learning is to be used in a healthcare, then what are the systems and whether this global trend when we say or when we say is a Deloitte, whether these two are the only trends or you can say the companies which are showing that use of machine learning, it is also not so. Harvard Business Review, They took a review on 300 healthcare executive, and surprisingly what they found, that 70% of the employees in the healthcare, they are not, they are not giving the actual treatment, actual weightage, actual engagement to the patients in terms of the treatment process. Now the question arises, what are the terms of the treatment process? So when we comes to an healthcare education or healthcare industry, the first thing is, suppose I am a patient, I am suffering from diabetes, and or I am suffering from a cancer. So the first thing what I am going to do is I am going to contact a doctor. Now, just contacting a doctor, taking an appointment, this is a tedious job. Now, once I contact the doctor, there are several tests which needs to be performed. There are certain observations which I have to share with the doctor. That is what I eat, what is my routine, what is my, you can say, diet I am taking, what is my daily schedule. So there are various parameters, and you can say parameters as well as my routine which needs to be shared with the doctor to identify why such kind of disease is found in my body. Now this is a particular process in which human being is engaged. This is a basic information which needs to be shared by each and every patient, and 70% of the staff is engaged in such kind of responsibility. So hardly 30 to 40%, you can say, on the higher side it goes to the, you can say, 30%, that the nurses or the staff is actually working on the disease of the patient. So this 70% of work which is, you can say, less required or less in terms of the final treatment which is need to be given. So just to reduce this 70% of engagement of the staff, these machine learning algorithms is being used in the, or they have started using it in the healthcare system. So everyone has listened about the bot, actually, if I'm not wrong. So whenever you open a website, there is an bot, that is an automatic robot which used to talk with you, and you share all the information and related information. So this is the basic machine learning, you can say, example you can use for monitoring, identifying, and to know about the detailed description of the patient. So this is the first thing which they started working in the healthcare system, and use of the machine learning in the healthcare. So when we talk about the machine learning algorithms, so basically there are the three domains, you can say, in the healthcare system in which machine learning algorithms are frequently used. So the number one was oncology, number two was pathology, and the third one when we talk about is the rare diseases. So basically the machine learning algorithms, when we talk about it, it is basically using the artificial neural network algorithm and CNN model, you can say, the conventional neural network model, that is basically used for the image identification, detection, and the recognition. So when we say that this particular CNN model basically perform on it, so how the question arises that how it performs and how it works. So what actually happen is, suppose if I'm suffering from a blood cancer and I have got blood cells, or you can say lymphonodes in my body. So they have a tendency that if you are having a high sugar is injected in your body, in that case those lymphonodes used to attract those high sugars, and the images got blurred, and they become in the reddish shape wherever the lymphonodes are there. So this is, you can say, this type of cells is work as a data set for which is taken by a doctor, and these data set is inserted into an algorithm. Now what happens, suppose if we go for an automatic testing, in that case the image come, then through the machine learning algorithms, the existing data set is being compared with the new data set, which we have taken a just recent reports, and if it matches, say up to 70%, it says that yes, the patient is suffering from a blood cancer. Suppose it matches where only 20 to 30%. In that case, we have given the ability to have an algorithm, or we have given a provision. In that case, if it founds a new blood cell, in that case it is going to match it with the existing part, or the doctor is to be concerned. And if the doctor says yes, these 20% part is also a part of a blood cancer or lymph nodes, which represents that the patient is suffering from a blood cancer, in that case that particular data set will be automatically integrated in the data set of the algorithm. So this is how you can say the convolutional neural network and the model works in. So you can say there 2021, so they are still the, you can say the study is going on, and on the basis of 2020 you can say there are 12 applications which are majorly used in the healthcare system. So the number one is diagnosis and disease identification. So there is one famous, you can say this IBM Watson Genomic is a great example of it. This particular IBM Watson, what they did is they have compiled the data set with the of each and every related disease with the help of the doctors and the experts. They have created that particular data set, and they have kept the variations which can be possible to identify or to check the accuracy level of of the disease. So what they did is they started comparing that particular data set, existing data set, with the new one, and then the image comparison they used to do it, that is image processing. And through that particular image processing, they are able to diagnose the disease. The second part is the health record improvement. So in health record improvement is, suppose I am a patient and I went to the doctor. I used the bot initially to tell what all symptoms I am facing, what all is my diet schedule, what is my eating habits, what are the problems which I am facing. Now that particular bot is going to record each and everything, and it is going to be stored in a system in the form of a file, right? Now according to it, my doctor is going to, I'm going to meet the doctor, and there will be certain observation which a doctor is going to share. On the basis of that, I have again underwent certain tests which needs to be performed to confirm about the disease, and which will also ensure that what kind of treatment is to be given to me. Now all those reports will be stored with the help of the machine learning algorithms. Now the question arises, this is a basic process, why to use the machine learning algorithms. So what happens then whenever you go for a particular test, so there is either a declination or you can say improvement in your body after certain medicines. So that particular, once all the tests is stored on a frequent way or on the regular basis, these machine learning algorithms not only store the records, but they are also used, or they help us in identifying the trend of your response after the treatment. So this helps the doctor to identify that after the treatment whether you are improving or you are not improving. If you are improving, what is the percentage of improvement? Now it also helps us in identifying that at which particular part of the body the treatment is not affecting a lot. As a result, doctor is able to give much better treatment. So the next is the prediction of the diabetes. So the diabetes is, you can say, it is one of the commonly found disease, and this particular disease is not only killing a person, but it also casually decreases the calcium of your body. So the decay of this, or you can say the tendency to reduce the calcium of your body, so it slowly and gradually makes the patient suffering from the osteoporosis. As a result, the decay in the bones led a person to restrict his movement and frequent fractures. Now, to identify the depth of this particular disease, Basically, they have KNN, DCN3, and naive Bayes string matching basically algorithms, which are used in the machine learning algorithms for the prediction of the diabetes. Now, the next part, when we say it is also used in the liver diseases, so you can say cirrhosis, liver cancer, hepatitis. So these are the basically you can say disease which are generally found in the terms of the in livers. So machine learning algorithm helps, and the clustering you can say helps to identify the liver diseases which are frequently found in the person. Now the question arises that what is the best cure, basically cure, how you can use the machine learning algorithms in best cure. So what they used to did is, as I already told you, that I have got a data set which has been installed. Now, a frequency, say for a PET CT scan, I underwent a PET CT scan. So they found highly active nodes in my body. Now, once I am undergoing a chemotherapy, in that particular case, those sometimes you can say the good cells. There are two types of cells which are found in a body. One is known as the bad cell, and the other one is known as the good cells. So, the chemotherapy not only kills the bad cell, but it also kills the good cell. So basically, you can say that sometime when the bad cell is being killed, it is you can say a benefit to our body, that there is a less existence of bad cell is going gradually. But when a good cell is killed, in that particular case, what happens? It affects your bodies, and moreover, it decreases the probability of you can say reconstructing the bad cells into a good cells, right? So basically what happens on a frequent, after your frequent medications, certain tests is being always performed. On the basis of the test, our ML algorithms in the healthcare which is being used, they used to compare the existing data set with the previous one, and they draw a graph which helps us in identifying whether the patient is going on a lower side or on a higher side of the treatment. If it is going to towards the higher side, then what and how the treatment further needs to be carried out. Else, if it is going on the lower side, then how, or you can say what intensive treatment needs to be given. So basically, also whenever you are taking a particular drug, so that particular drug is a combination of multiple chemicals. Each and every chemical is affecting your body in terms of you can say one or two parameters. So they, on the basis of the machine learning, they also let you know that what kind of drug is to be injected and what will should be the chemical compositions. So you can say these machine learning algorithms, they are not only identifying the data, or you can say the symptoms in your body and the way your body is responding, but they are also majorly used to identify the composition of the drugs which needs to be given for your improvement. Now, when we say key improvement, so how is this particular improvement is going to begin? So with the help of the image analysis. So when we say about an image analysis, that is the hardcore fact that once you go for a certain test, though they used to compare two images, and accordingly they used to take the decision that what medication, or you can say treatment, needs to be carried out. I hope I am audible. Hello.
We are listening. No problem.
Yeah, listening. Thank you. So now when we say ki this is how the machine learning algorithms are used. Now the question arises that if I'm a patient, in that case I'm suffering from a deadly disease. Now I need to contact to a doctor, because sometimes so happen that we got impatient and we are facing problem. So in that case, when we are facing a problem, we need to contact the doctor, and sometimes it is an odd hours whether sometimes the doctor is not available. It may so happen so generally. So now what is the now the question arises that how this machine learning algorithms is being used. So I hope you remember there are few softwares related to this medicines, that was Mycin and other software also. So now these kind of software is being created in the healthcare system. Now what's happen? Suppose in odd timings I have been suffering. I am suffering from a particular, say I'm having a nausea, or I'm having a headache, and I want to contact to the doctor. So in that case, you can say that we are using a bot. I'm going to share all my symptoms with the bot. My medical history will be there in the hospital. That bot is going to check my current status, what problem I am facing with the medical history, what is being stored in the database. And on the basis of that, they can provide me the instant solution which I can go for the treatment of mine to overcome that particular problem. So this particular approach is also helping an individual patient to get an instant, and you can say a sort of a personalized treatment also. Now, when we say ki, how does this cancer, when we saw about talk about the disease cancer like this, so in the cancer there are few cancers which are, or you can say 80% of the cancers, right? They are not predicted, or we are not able to predict the reason behind it. Suppose if you are suffering from a lung cancer, then it is perfect, everybody knows. Suppose if you are suffering from pancreas, then you know that why it is so. But still there, suppose if you are talking about blood cancer, then nobody knows why it so happened. There are few chances that something is injected in your blood, like a ink, you can say, sort of thing, which sometimes react and convert your it generates the blood cancer tendency. But still there are many diseases, or you can say types of cancer, in which it is, we are not sure that how these particular is occurring into an individual body. So what happens is, through the machine learning algorithms, now if a particular patient is suffering from a cancer, then his all his, you can say, medical history is being taken out. If somebody else is also being carried suffering from cancer, then again we took a medical history, and according to, by comparing all different kind of you can say these medical history of different patients, we are able to keep the track of the activities which are carried out in your body. So sometimes what's to happen is that with the tracking of different bodies and different you can say samples or different tendency in individual's body, we are able to identify the root cause of this particular diseases. So these are also helping in identifying as well as adjusting the way how the data can be carried out. Now the next part is medical research, and you can say the clinical trial improvement. So you can say that nobody is perfect in this world. We as a human being, we are also not perfect. Sometimes the doctor is also not perfect. Moreover, you can say when you reach to a doctor, there is a one famous line which a doctor generally quotes, that we used to treat a patient, not the reports. So when we are saying that we are treating a patient, not the reports, is why so is so that sometimes if you can say that CBC is that is basically known as a blood count. So when you can say that CBC crosses its range, there are various reasons. Say the number one reason is that suppose if you are suffering from a deadly disease related to the cancer, in that case the value of the CBC will be high. We are currently we are undergoing a pandemic situation, and COVID is killing everybody. So if you are suffering from a COVID, in that case also CBC value will be high. Suppose you can say that you are having any liver infection, in that case CBC value will be high. So there are various values or reasons you can say through which you can say that value of the CBC is basically affected. Now the question is, if suppose on the value of CBC is high, right? Now which a doctor or a patient should, how a doctor should treat the patient, how he or she is going to identify the patient is suffering from which particular disease. This is point number one. So definitely doctors used to identify this. If the value of the CBC is up to this particular range, they can identify that it may be possible that he is suffering from cancer. But if they are suffering from this particular range, they may be suffering from COVID. So they have set up the range. But still, being a human being, certain time it so happen that we are not able to identify the exact disease. Now the question arises that if we are not able to identify, the doctor is not able to identify or minutely monitor, then what basically the method of identifying the same. So previously I have just discussed that there is one of the option of using the machine learning algorithm is naive string method. So this particular naive string method is basically used for the string matching. So you can say minutely matches the pattern or the cells of your body, through which we can easily identify the depth and the severity of a particular disease. Now, on the basis of this particular value of the CBC, we can say that we can use ML to check the severity of this particular CBC, and through the cell testing or comparison, we can easily identify that what is the best disease, or you can say what is the best treatment or which we can provide to a patient. Moreover, when we say that there is when we say about a particular disease, there is variety of the data which there exists. So all those particular data, if we keep it on a single place, you can say in a healthcare system, that is on iCloud, and which can be shared. So in that case, in a short time duration, we can have a good, you can say, data available related to this healthcare, or you can say through the disease. And on the basis of this particular data analytics, right, we can easily identify the kind of treatment which needs to be. So sometimes it so happens that you can say, just say, take an example. I hope you might have heard that almost 10 years back, there is a one open heart bypass surgery was done, right? But surprisingly, they have not put any cut into the body. What they did is they took a drill machine, which is the size of the drill machine is very small, just like the size of the vein. So what they did is they puncture it from over here, and they put the drill machine into the heart and along with the camera. So where there was a blockage, so they took the drill machine over there, and once the drill machine has senses that particular blockage, they start drilling it. So the blockage, or you can say the blood clot over there, that was drilled, and they slowly it moves out to your urine. So this was, you can say, the starting of use of ML. So in terms of, you can say, medication, that is what they did is, so once they enter, just push the drill machine, that here is the blockage. So one is stops. So it has just sensed whether these are the veins or these is the blood clotting. So if it was a blood clotting, in that case, they started drilling it. So this is also, you can say, the part of the machine learning, and that was used for the medical data. Now that is another, you can say, epidic control. So you can say that neural network algorithms is being used, and if we have got a sufficient data, then in that case, on the comparison or on the analytics of that particular data, we can identify that what are the future, you can say, disease, which can be encountered in a particular human body. So the precautions and the treatment can be shared in advance, so a person can be preventively, you can say, preventively supported, so that he or she stops suffering from a deadly disease. So on the basis of your data, basically machine learnings not only give you a proper treatment, but they also help us to identify the future disease which you can suffer from. Now, this is what recently I've taken an example of that particular drill machine, which is used for the bypass surgery, you can say. So there are basically few surgeries also, which is done through the robotics and use of the robots basically. So these surgeries are automatic suturing, surging water flow modeling, and skill evaluation is being done. Now the question arises that these are the major 12 parts in which you can say that machine learning algorithms is being used in the healthcare system. Now the question arises that when we have got so much of the advantage in the machine learning, then what are the challenges we are facing but while using this particular machine learning in the healthcare system? So the number one was data governance. That the study says that I'm medically unfit, I'm suffering from a particular disease, but still I do not want that my data, or you can say my medical reports, that needs to be shared. So now if each and every individual do not want to share his or her reports and the sample data in that case, so the data set of a particular disease, it will be tough to collect it. So the first thing is that if this particular, you can say, agileness of a particular person is not having, in that case, that we can easily collect a data set through which we can easily identify and carry out a study and use of machine learning. So you can say when the studies is is carried out throughout the world, only UK is one of the country in which almost 83% of the persons, they accept that yes, their data should be shared and that can be used for identifying the disease and the cure, and so that the machine learning can play a vital role in terms of this medical healthcare system. Now, another is that the transparent algorithm. See, we have got, say, for an example, naive string that I shared with you. That is one of the algorithm. When we talk about the string matching algorithm, there are few more string matching algorithm. So you can say that we have to identify, number one, that what kind of algorithm is the best to identify the treatment, or you can say the cure of the disease. That is basically when we says that in the past, just 2 minutes back, I have told you that it also machine learning algorithms, we can identify that what improvement is being carried out in your body when the treatment is going on. So through this, we can also identify the you can say drugs, or you can say the medicine, and their chemical composition through which we can make, or more improvement in a patient body. So basically you can say that we have to little bit work more harder, so that that particular machine learning can also be used, or approach can also be used in the drug development also, so that we will not be having a fixed chemical composition in a particular drug, but we can change the composition also, and on the basis of every individual response after the treatment is, once the treatment is started and is going on. Now the another is optimization electronic records. Now you can say that we have got all the database. Suppose once we suppose as in UK, 83% of the persons agreed, so we collect a data set over there. So now that particular, once we collected that particular data set, we have to identify the structure and the process, or you can say the methodology through which it needs to be a particular sequence. So that particular sequence will help us in the, you can say, the treatment of the patient also. So we have to work on the how the data sequence, or you can, the series of data needs to be stored in the system. You can say the next is the challenge we are having is embarrassing the power of data silos. That is, you can say, sometimes we says that this is the hardcore fact that we basically do the treatment of a patient not on the data, but it is on the simultaneously on the parallel side. It is, you can say, it is the hardcore fact that sometimes the data is much more accurate as what we think, because the body how it responds in terms of severe disease, you never know. So basically, we have to work on the data, and we have to be very much particular that how that particular data is to be utilized in a long-term perspective, so that accordingly the pharma industry or the drug industry can be identified that these are the possibilities, these are the root cause of a particular disease, and accordingly the medicine needs to be manufactured. Another thing, or you can say the last thing, is that machine learning is an emerging field. We have got few experts, and in the current scenario, looking after the world's population, we need more expert. So basically, data science, data analytics, or you can say big data, which also plays a vital role in this particular field. So we need more experts. Our course curriculum, you can say, it needs to be much more precise, which not only, rather than covering all the complete or detailed syllabus, we should have a particular domain elective so that it imposes or it focuses more on this healthcare system. When we say about the future of this machine learning, that what will be there in the healthcare system, so though you can say that we will be moving to the automated part, or you can say automation, in which the algorithms of the machine is making their own decision, but still, and there may be a lack of job, but it is not so. So we are moving the way the healthcare system is moving nowadays. So there is a prediction that by 2025, we will be creating almost 2 million additional jobs in terms of healthcare system. And you can say the healthcare system currently using almost you can say $8 billion business currently in 2021, and it will reach to 22.8 billion by 2023, and it is also being said by 2025 you can say the total business which will be healthcare business, which will be being domain or using ML, you can say that will be of 60 billion. So within you can say 2023 to 2025, almost in 2 years, that particular business will be twice, minimum 2.5 times to the, you can say, will grow by using the ML languages in the healthcare system. So this is all my presentation. I hope you would have liked it, and I'm able to give you certain.
We thank you, Professor Anish Gupta, for your satisfactory presentation. On behalf of organization team, I thank you again. Your presentation title is Use Machine Learning in Healthcare. And you given a presentation comprehensive in terms of use of machine learning in healthcare. Thank you for your cooperation and participating our conference. And we will submit a certificate. Thank you, Professor Gupta, again.
Thank you, sir. Thank you so much, Professor Emery.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you.
We want to see you again in next conference next year.
Definitely. It will be my pleasure joining you, sir.
Yeah. Thank you. See you later.
Okay, sir. Thank you. Bye.
Bye.